good morning from him makes her happy all day. An affectionate message, and she's already forgotten the 2 weeks of coldness. He calls after ignoring her messages for days, and she feels like she won the lottery. He gives her 5 minutes of real attention, and she celebrates as if it were true love. She got used to this, to living on leftovers, on crumbs, on small gestures that any decent person would give without even thinking. But for her, they're events, they're proof of love, they're reasons to continue, and she doesn't even notice anymore that she's dying of emotional hunger while celebrating crumbs as if they were a feast. Her needs became luxury, her expectations became demands, and she convinced herself that asking for more would be asking too much. Until late at night, when his silence screams louder than any words, the question suffocates her. When did I unlearn that I deserve a complete meal and started being grateful for leftovers? This is the emotional hunger of women who live on crumbs. And today we're unveiling the painful psychology behind this pattern. Because it's not gratitude. It's not being easy to please. It's chronic emotional malnutrition disguised as contentment. And without understanding what made her normalize crumbs as sufficient, she'll spend her life celebrating the minimum while starving for what she really needs. Let's start with the truth that will hurt but also free. She doesn't live on crumbs because she's grateful. She lives on crumbs because she was conditioned to believe she doesn't deserve more. And this has a name in psychology: normalized emotional deprivation. When she grows up in environments where affection was scarce, unpredictable, or conditional, her brain develops a dangerous capacity. It learns to survive with less, much less. She learns to celebrate the minimum, to be grateful for the basic, to feel gratitude for things that should be automatic. And when she enters relationships, she takes this programming with her. So when he gives her crumbs, an occasional compliment, an affectionate message every week, attention when it's convenient for him, her brain doesn't interpret this as insufficient, interprets it as achievement. And each crumb he gives her releases dopamine, not because it's good enough, but because it's more than she expected. And she was trained to expect so little that anything seems like a lot. Psychologists call this adaptation to scarcity. When she lives in deprivation long enough, her reference system becomes distorted. What should be basic becomes luxury. What should be expectation becomes demand. And she completely loses notion of what's acceptable. And while she celebrates crumbs, he learns he doesn't need to give her more, because she's already happy with almost nothing. Now the question arises, but how did she get to this point? When did she become this person? Because the pattern of accepting crumbs always starts before. If she grew up with emotionally unavailable parents, she learned early that attention is rare. So any moment of connection, even brief, even insufficient, became treasure. She learned to settle, because it was that or nothing. If she grew up competing for affection with siblings, with parents' work, with their problems, she learned that love is limited, that she needs to be grateful for the little she gets, that complaining about hunger when given crumbs is ingratitude. If she had past relationships where she was neglected, she may have developed the belief that this is normal, that all men are like this, that she's asking too much if she expects more. And she normalized the hunger. So when she's with him and he gives her fragmented attention, intermittent love, occasional affection, something inside her doesn't rebel, doesn't say this isn't enough, says, at least he's giving something. At least he didn't abandon me completely. At least. And she lives in this at least while dying of emotional hunger. As she continues living on crumbs, the patterns deepen. She develops disproportionate gratitude. He texts her after 3 days. She thanks effusively. He gives her half an hour of attention. She acts like she received the world. And he learns that minimum effort generates maximum reward. She begins downgrading her own needs. I don't need that much. I'm exaggerating. Other women go through worse. She convinces herself that her emotional needs are luxury, not basic right. She loses reference of what's normal. She no longer knows what a healthy relationship is, because she normalized scarcity so much that when someone treats her well, she finds it strange, too intense, too fast, and she feels more comfortable in hunger than in abundance. she develops fear of asking for more. Because if she asks and he denies, she confirms she's not worthy. So she prefers not to ask, prefers to accept the little, and starve in silence. And she confuses conformity with maturity, deprivation with contentment. What happens to this woman? She becomes someone who completely forgot what it feels like to be nourished. Because she's lived so long in a state of lack that she doesn't even remember anymore what it's like to have her needs fully met. She becomes the type of woman who celebrates when he remembers her birthday, as if that were extraordinary, gets euphoric with an "I love you" after weeks, as if it were a rare event, feels gratitude when he spends time with her, as if it were a favor and not part of the relationship, defends his behavior, he's busy, he's not very demonstrative, at least he's here. And the relationship? It's an emotional desert. She's always thirsty, and he gives her drops of water and expects applause. And worst, she doesn't even realize she's malnourished. Because when you live on crumbs long enough, you forget what a feast is, and you start believing crumbs are all that exists. The crucial question isn't, how do I make him give me more? It's, why did I accept living with so little? Because she only accepts crumbs when she believes she doesn't deserve a complete meal. And she needs to understand something. Healthy relationship isn't about occasional gestures. It's about consistency. It's not about him giving her attention when he can. It's about him wanting to be present. It's not about him complimenting her from time to time. It's about him seeing and admiring her naturally. It's not about him giving her love when he remembers. It's about him loving her as a habit, not as a special event. If she's celebrating things that should be basic, she's not in a relationship. She's begging for affection. And observe the signs that she lives on crumbs. She's happy with gestures any decent person would do without thinking. She has more stories about that time he was romantic than about his consistency. She justifies his absence more than celebrates his presence. She measures the relationship by isolated moments, not by general pattern. She feels she's always waiting for the next message, the next meeting, the next crumb. If she identified with this, she's not being loved. She's being fed occasionally so she doesn't die, but never enough to thrive. So if there's a woman listening who lives on emotional crumbs, she needs to hear, she's not being humble. She's accepting less than she deserves and calling it gratitude. She's not being understanding. She's normalizing emotional neglect. And there comes a point where living on crumbs isn't a relationship. It's survival. She deserved someone whose presence was constant, not occasional. Someone whose affection was abundant, not rationed. Someone who nourished her daily, not who gave her leftovers when convenient. And she can still choose differently. But first, she needs to recognize the hunger, needs to admit, I'm starving emotionally, and crumbs aren't sustaining me. And then, she needs to stop celebrating crumbs. When he sends that message after days, don't celebrate. Observe the pattern. When he gives her half an hour of attention, don't thank effusively. Question why it's so rare. When he does the minimum, don't treat it as maximum. Recognize it as exactly what it is, minimum. And when she stops celebrating crumbs, two things can happen. He'll realize he needs to do more and will truly try. He'll get irritated that she changed and will leave. And both results give her the information she needs. If he tries harder, great, she was right to demand more. If he leaves, even better, because he was only there for the crumbs she accepted, not for her. She wasn't born to live on leftovers. She wasn't made to be grateful for the basic. She's not here to celebrate the minimum while starving for what she really needs. And if he can't fully nourish her, then it's not him she needs. It's herself. The version of her that remembers what it feels like to be full, that doesn't settle for less, that knows the difference between crumbs and feast. And that version is waiting for her to return, not after he changes, not when he gets better. Now, because every day she spends celebrating crumbs is a day she could be truly nourishing herself. And she deserves to feel full, not from time to time, always.